What do you do when you have a part that is no longer in stock? In this video, I'll show you the right way to select a replacement or alternate part when you don't have a part available for your printed circuit board. You'll know all the things to look for and to check for, and the quickest way to pick a replacement part so you can get your bill of materials ordered as soon as possible. If you don't know me, I'm Tech Kirsch. I'm a former Intel employee headquarters and as an electrical and electronic systems engineer, and with a focus on hardware. So on this channel, I will help you with tips and tricks and guidelines, best practices to do professional hardware design. Okay, so here's our device. This is a connector here that's no longer available in a bill of materials that I'm working on. And here I managed to find the datasheet on a website, Datasheet 360. You'll find oftentimes that, especially for connectors, you're gonna have parts that are not available. Okay, we need a replacement. You have to be very careful with connectors. I saw somewhere on a forum where somebody recommended a different connector. However, the other connector they recommended has 6 pins and pads, not 4. Now, can we still get away with it using this? Possibly, but I don't like the idea of only 4 of my pads being like this, having 6 pins or pads. I want to have 4 exactly. I'll keep it as a backup, but I'm still a bit wary on that. Why do they pick it? Because these pads are very similar, 1.3 millimeters in terms of the pad width, 1.3 millimeters, practically identical, good backup. Instead, what you want to do is you go to your website like Octopod or DigiKey. DigiKey is my preferred. And then I would put in the description for the device. So let's say you have the part number for the original part, which of course you would. You copy and paste this into, say, something like DigiKey or whatnot. You find things that are very similar to it in DigiKey and then copy this description. You copy this description, and I use the description inside DigiKey, find the results that DigiKey produces, and then I pull up all the options that look close enough to my original device. Now, one of the quickest ways is to double check that your part is a close match is to pull up the 3D model. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the 3D model for this one. It looks very similar or close enough to what I'm looking for. Okay, this is especially nice for design reuse. Typically, you're going to be working with a design if you're a mid-senior level hardware design engineer, and you'll be modifying a design or updating. So you want to find a part that replaces that, try to drop the 3D model onto the PCB footprint. That's the secret. Boom. Let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, so now that I've downloaded the 3D model, the surefire way to know this works for the footprint is to place it on the PCB. I imported the model, and let's take a look. Now, at first glance, this seems fine, right? You rest it on there, but I can immediately tell that this little thing right here is a problem. So while this does work for the PCB footprint, the pad stacks, everything, you're either going to need to shave off this thing, which nobody's got time for that, or you need to choose a different device that's very close to this, almost identical, but doesn't have these little notches. Okay. What I would do is, let's hit top. See if I can zoom in here. I would still put this in here for the 3D model sake. Boom. Let's really look at that. Yeah, it fits pretty nice. But again, this little notch thing goes in through the PCB. So that's why it's important to have these 3D models. Now, is the 3D model 100% accurate? You have to double check that inside of the data sheet. okay? So to do that, you double check the datasheet, click on there, see what dimensions you're working with. And that's if you're lucky enough to get the datasheet. So you need to go to the manufacturer's website, double check, and once things match up though, or you can use that part or find parts that don't have that notch, right? Find parts that don't have it. And then you are on the way to maybe this type A model doesn't have the notch, then I would check that and see, okay? But once you're doing this, you're on your way to getting the thing you want. Okay, this looks exactly like what we're looking for. Looks exactly like what we're looking for. Let's check and see. Because see, this has the notch, this doesn't. I'm pretty sure this is it right here. Let's check. So I've gone ahead and replaced it with this updated part. I'll hit autos to see if it clicks on there. No, it doesn't. So I'll just have to adjust it a little bit, line this up, and then see how that goes. So if I were to zoom in here, we see that that fits perfectly. Look at that. All right. That's a surefire way to know if you're in the ballpark. Then you start looking at components very similar to that one. Right? So I would take a note of this part itself, look for the specific detailed description, and then drop this as the alternate part selection or the replacement part inside of your bill of materials spreadsheet. And by the way, if you're using the normal spreadsheet for your bill of materials, that's behind. You're going to want to use bill of materials management tool that has access to all of this part data in real time. I won't cover that in this video though. This is how you check to replace parts in your hardware and PCB designs.